Today we're gonna talk about something which is not often talk about, which is three-wheeler space, which is also a sub-segment in EV space. And interestingly, it has the highest number of players compared to EV four-wheelers and EV two-wheelers, which is around 500, over 500 players. And also the EV penetration is also 50% in three-wheeler space. So which is also surprising because in four-wheeler and two-wheeler that number is still looking very far away, and it is selling around 5 to 600 electric vehicles per month. The fact that it is a new entrant, but also backed by a very strong parentage, definitely adds the chances of it to succeed. Hi guys, welcome back, and welcome to the Repeating Common Sense podcast. This week we are back with me, Harsh, Aditya, and Pratik, and we're gonna again talk about some very interesting company which has been kind of overlooked by the larger player in the market. And today we're gonna talk about something which is very buzzing nowadays, which is the electric vehicle space. So I think by now it has been pretty clear that the future is going to be electric. Whatever the doubts that it had has been cleared by the mass consumption that is going on in the EV space, whether it's four-wheeler, two-wheeler, or something which is we're going to talk about, that is EV three-wheelers, which has been overlooked by the, as I said, many people in the market. So, but I think when any industry goes through such kind of a disruption, as in EV industry is going, a similar pattern tends to follow, which is that the incumbents take a kind of a backseat. The players like Bajaj and Heroes and all, and the newcomers, the likes of Ola, Ather, they tend to take the charge because something that has been doing these companies from 20 years, 25 years, it is suddenly changing. So it definitely a change take a time. But for newcomers, it is not that hard because they just started their operation. Globally, also, all eyes have been on companies like Tesla, which is by far the biggest company in America. And I think it was the biggest company in the world until the BYD from China took it over. But yeah, in the United States, Tesla is the biggest company. I think it is bigger than the next 10 companies combined. So that tells you that the quantum of things can be very large in terms of the EV space. And also, as I said, BYD in China now that it has also seen a tremendous growth globally, and now that is the world's biggest electric company, coming from behind and surpassing the Tesla. But I think when we talk about India, in the four-wheeler space, no, not such single player has been able to make a mark. Of course, there are Indian players such as Tata EV and Mahindra has a fair bit of share in four-wheelers EVs, but there has not been a clear edge with any of the one player. And in the two-wheeler space, Ola, of course, is there, despite all the controversy around the company and its founder.
ब्रो
Ola is
ओला में वो देखा था कुणाल कामरा एंड भावेश अग्रवाल ट्विटर फाइट
Elon Musk people are calling him, but let's just move on. But yeah, despite that, Ola has 44% of market share in two-wheeler space in electric vehicles. And after the Ola, I think there's TVS, which is not so close to Ola. It has around 17% market share. So that is the two-wheeler scenario in India. But today we're going to talk about something which is not often talk about, which is three-wheeler space, EV three-wheeler space, which is also a sub-segment in EV space. And interestingly, it has the highest number of players compared to EV four-wheelers and EV two-wheelers, which is around 500, over 500 players in that. So the number might sound
क्रेजी
like, okay, that's a crazy number exactly.
या
But yeah, and also the EV penetration is also 50% in three-wheeler space. So which is also surprising because in four-wheeler and two-wheeler, that number is still looking very far away. So in this often overlooked but promising area, there is a player called Montra, and this Montra has been just started 12 months back by a company which is listed, by the way, Tube Investment India. So the Montra is kind of a subsidiary of Tube Investment. The Montra started 12 months back, and in just the span of 12 months, it has been able to grab the 23rd position, and it is selling around 5 to 600 electric vehicles per month. So the fact that it is a new entrant, but also backed by a very strong parentage, definitely adds the chances of it to succeed. And I think that is where we also find an opportunity. So, as I said, Mantra was just launched a year back, and since its debut, it is creating waves, especially in the South India, because of course, Tube India is South-based company, and they have a very good distribution and all in South of India. And there it has a good market share. And in the month of August 2024, it announced that it has delivered its 5,000th vehicle. That is just in the span of 1 year. And now, as I said, 600 monthly sales they have. Uh, Again, saying this is not a big number. This is 1/10 of the market leader, which is Mahindra EVs. But still, the growth that the company is expecting is significant because the company is guiding to reach 1,000 vehicles per month in just a next couple of months. To say the safer side on the by the end of this year. So that is definitely more than 40, no, more than 60-70% of its current rate. And I think to push it further, the company is also taking some aggressive expansion plan. So they are expanding the dealer networks from just 70 right now to over 150 by the end of this year. They are launching a cargo version of the current e-auto, which is helpful in the logistics part because, of course, rural areas you can't really drive the heavy vehicles, trucks, and all these things. These vehicles are very beneficial. They're also launching e-rickshaw. Now, there's a slight difference between e-auto and e-rickshaw. The e-auto is kind of a three passenger vehicle, while e-rickshaw is वो सामने सामने भी बैठ सकते हैं वैसा. So that is, I think, more 5-6 person auto. So yeah, this kind of steps they're
Got
taking, and their product is also at par with the Mahindra's e-auto. The specification are much more similar. So yeah, and the parentage of TI industry. But the I think the main question remains that will it be able to succeed? So that will remain to be seen.
So I think Chaitanya gave a pretty, idea about what the company does, where is it standing, and all. But now the question is that given all these facts, will the company succeed? So
Yeah,
currently, Montra, as Chaitanya already mentioned, is 23rd out of more than 500 companies in the overall three-wheeler EV sales. And it has presence only in e-auto. So as Chaitanya mentioned, there's a difference between e-auto and the e-rickshaw as well, which I got to know today, like just right now. Till now, I was
2 minutes
thinking
back.
they were both the same. So yeah. But then if you see the other top players like Mahindra, Bajaj, they have other products as well. Like they are already into e-autos, e-rickshaws, and their cargo variants. And there are a lot of other regional players also which only focus on e-rickshaws. And Montra has already, just started out 12 months back with, e-autos, and that is a relatively less intense market, and now it's looking to, disrupt the e-rickshaw market as well through its brand. And as Chaitanya mentioned, they're already, getting into expansion by increasing their dealer network from 70 to more than 150, right? So yeah, that. And then they have integrated manufacturing, and they're also trying to enhance their after sales, because after sales also becomes a big component on big component of sales after a point for all the automotive players, automotive components or automotive players. So yeah, they'll also have to focus on that, and it's good that in the nascent stage of their businesses, they're already trying to focus on that. But and what we think is that why Montra can disrupt this particular market and succeed is its parentage. So basically, Montra is a part of the TI Clean Mobility company, which is a subsidiary of Tube Investments of India. And Tube Investments of India is itself part of the Murugappa Group. And the Murugappa Group is a very famous conglomerate in the south of India, and it already has a lot of trust in that particular region. So that particular fact or that particular name itself will break the entry barriers for Mantra, especially in the South Indian markets. And then once they break that, enter that particular market, they can easily start spreading their networks or increasing the reach to other parts of India. So that then Tube Investments is also known for having this ability of acquiring new businesses out of its core expertise, and turning them around, making them profitable and hugely highly profitable. And this shows in the stock price as well later. So the example which I would like to give is of CG Power. So I think in the past 1 year, CG Power, which is part of Tube India, has given returns of what, around 6,000%, more than 6,000% in the past 1 year. So yeah, and then capital is also not a problem, because Tube Investments has already invested around 250 crores in this particular entity as equity, and they have another 500 crores as compulsorily convertible preference shares. They also think that this particular company will disrupt the market, and hence are having skin in the game. And at the same time, they have raised around 2,250 crores from other P players as well, same through the form of compulsorily convertible preference shares. And at the same time, Tube Investments itself being a leading engineering company, and engineering has to be perfect when it comes to the automotive business. So yeah, and then because it will help you in developing a quality product, and it will which will then be easy to scale. And it is one of the largest manufacturers of precision tubes, transmission chains, and metal formed products. So essentially all these will help in building a superior product for Montra itself. So I think it can succeed given these bets play out well, and Tube is able to turn this around. So yeah, but I don't think Montra is just a three, as in focus on the three-wheeler part. So Harsh, if you could, no, sorry, Aditya, if you could just, Harsh or
Uh,
Aditya, whoever, if you could
Correct.
just talk about this
So,
particular bit.
would like to mention, talking about some business sustainability or about the things that we have discussed around the surrounding and business environment and everything. There's something more than that, that they are not only into just three wheelers, but they are also planning to come into electric tractors, which they have launched. Then they have also planned to get into electric medium and high commercial vehicles. Uh, this category. Then they are also planning to get into electric small commercial vehicles as well. So, getting talking in detail about this, we could get to the point that that for talking about electrical tractors, they have launched their first electric tractor, and right now they are planning to the target states like Gujarat, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, which were covering most of the India and the commercial transport line as well. Whereas their electric medium and high commercial vehicles will be getting launched in India around very soon. And the mostly 6 by 4 heavy duty truck will be kind of that we are expecting in market as in product, and will be expanding in coming days as told by managements. Whereas the small commercial vehicles in this sector, the electric small commercial vehicles, the company has invested around 160 crores, like setting up the things and all for getting started, and we are expecting that it could hit market anywhere between second quarter of FY25. So basically, yeah, as Pratik you have mentioned that it is this like subsidiary of TI India, the TI Clean Mobility, which undertakes this all EV automobile space, mostly for commercial vehicles. But not only it is about this particular mantra, but they have also working, on the some other entities like Aerostovilos, where they also manufacture micro gas turbines to increase fuel efficiency in EVs. Whereas Celestial E-Mobility, where they are particularly targeting electric tractors as in product. Whereas there are other entity called as IPL Tech Electric, where they do all kinds of system design for electric vehicles and mostly manufacturing of medium to high heavy commercial vehicles. And the last entity that they are working, which the most recent one is Automotives, where they do all kinds of design, development, testing, and manufacturing of auto components which are required inside for manufacturing of these particular things. So, discussing
Hmm.
this business overview and expansion plans and all thing, you also have to look at how revenues might play into the picture in coming days. And I think Harsh would can put some good light on it.
Yeah, sure, Aditya. So basically, if we just talk about the EV component for the FY24,
Mhm.
EV companies have made about 206 crores for Tube India, which is just approximately 1% for Tube investments total revenue. And the EV companies have made a loss of 270 crores. While these numbers look small from Tube India perspective right now, if we just look at it, the business has been just for 1 year. Okay. And it has grown. Right now, the business is just focused on setting base, setting up new manufacturing plants, launching 4 new products. So that was their focus right now. But even in this numbers, if we see, they have gotten a good growth right now, and we see a good potential for them to grow. And if we see that Tube India is currently trying to get a new age and transformational nature of its company is helping to get its valuation a bit higher. And if we see Tube India has already raised 3,000 crores, okay, at an unknown high amount valuation right now for their EV companies. The valuation will only go higher because Tube India is it was mentioned in the start, it is continuously trying to scale its operation, trying to enter new segments, new products, and all. Apart from this, EV companies, we can see Tube India is continuously making efforts to go get into high growth industries. So if we see their long-term growth strategy, they are trying to go into contractual manufacturing of active ingredients for pharmaceutical industry. Then they are also trying to get into manufacturing of medical consumables. And lastly, they are planning to go into semiconductor assembly and testing ability. So if you see all over, Tube India is trying to utilize its strong cash flow, which is generating from its business of engineering and metal form products. Okay, in order to either acquire or start new business in high growth industries. Okay, so what do you think, guys? Will Tube India be able to successfully turn around these acquisitions?
So I think if we were to sum up Tube India into like very short, which is very hard given the lots of multiple the company operates. But I think what I can think of is it's a company which operates in multiple industries, doing multiple boring niche stuff, which is very important stuff. But again, as I said, it's boring stuff, so it usually goes under the radar. But at the same time, the stuff is so important and engineered heavy that the company has been able to execute it thanks to its strong parentage. Corporate governance is very clean. Of course, Gurugappa Group is one of the cleanest group in India. Third, because of the same reason, they are also don't face much of a capital restriction. And fourth, that the company's ability to turn around the businesses, even if it is not in their expertise. So I think these reasons makes Tube India a very good investment option. Again, just from educational point of view, this is not an investment advice. So you might as well consult your financial advisor. Having said that, as I said, it can be a good company. Definitely deserves a place in your watch list. And I think the recent share rally among the past few years also just is justifiable given the companies doing so many things and finding success in most of the field. So and I think we can also hope that the same thing the company will be able to repeat with Montra and other vertical as you mentioned. So yeah, I think definitely a wonderful company, and I couldn't find any joke. So I will have to wrap the things.
मैं वेट ही कर रहा था
I
आज
thought
क्यों
I
नहीं
thought very
आया
long
तू
now. But yeah, jump नहीं रहा कुछ. Maybe next time. Next time.
next time
So I
there's
think
always a next time
that's a wrap. Yeah, I think so. That's a wrap, guys, for this week. We wish you a very happy Dashera and festivities all. And yeah, that's it. Bye bye. Have a good one.
Bye bye.
like
Thank
share
you
and
for being
subscribe
here.
guys don't forget
Yes, yes. Like,
This
share,
is
subscribe.
important.